Hi guys, welcome back to Redwood FM. I am Ed, and today it's going to be a bit of an FM19 / channel update type video. Not recorded for a while, I'm a bit rusty, I'm actually a bit nervous, ridiculously, but let's get into it. So part of the channel update is going to be about obviously my FM19 plans. Obviously FM or Football Manager have released what's going to be going on in FM19, what's new. So obviously we've got tactics, training, a few little things. I'm not going to cover it much in depth because, to be honest, it's already been done quite a few times, and I'm a pretty small channel, so I'll leave it to the big boys. They know what they're talking about a lot more than me. But I'll cover my thoughts quite quickly on them. But firstly, I'm going to let you know that my first FM19 save, there's going to be a few little ones this year rather than a long one, for reasons I'll explain later. My first FM19 save during the beta, and probably beyond that for a little bit, is going to be a series called, I've literally just got a black background at the moment, so somewhere up here, need to point my finger a bit better, is going to be called Reviving Ravel, or Ravel, however you want to pronounce it. Ravel Morrison, currently, I believe, I've been checking the Wikipedia a lot over the transfer window, or still at Lazio. So the point of the save is going to be taking on Lazio as the manager. I'm going to be playing Ravel Morrison. I'm going to hopefully try and get the best out of him, so build a team around him, put him in a tactic that should make the most of probably I'm imagining an AMC type role. I've historically done really well with an enganche, but I don't know if that's going to suit Ravel, but we'll see what happens. And if he moves anywhere, so if I have to move him on for any kind of reason, then I'll just make a manager elsewhere and manage him. So I'm going to hopefully go for a few seasons, see what he does with his career. As soon as he starts like a massive decline, I guess we'll see what happens. But I do want to get him to the Premier League probably, and if I can get him into England ranking, then great. I haven't actually checked him out on FM18 at all, so I've got no idea how good he is. But obviously we hear about him as being a wasted talent, comparable to Gaza to an extent. At least Gaza actually made more appearances than he has in his career. But off to Lazio, so there's a similarity there, a bit of a bad boy. Off the pitch in real life, real horrible person, but virtual Ravel Morrison has done nothing wrong, so let's see if we can make the most out of him. I do want to supplement that series with a few other little ones. That's probably going to be the longest save really, if I keep him active until he's 33, 34. That'll be a good 7 or 8 seasons we can get out of him, so we'll see what happens there. But some other shorter series I've got planned, again I might have things appearing up there somewhere. A series called probably Cardinals, which is a Woking based save, so I used to play with Woking all the time on some of the older management games. If you see my USM2 series, then not only are you potentially one of the people that dislikes my video every single time, so fair play, but you also know that I like Woking, and yeah, I just want to do a series with them. They're in the Conference South, Vanarama South these days, and I want to try and get promotion back to the conference using horrific football, so like just as dirty as possible, Route 1, hard tackling, basically just be bastards, to be completely honest. And we'll see how that goes. They should be one of the favourites of the division, so hopefully we can play how we want and still win it. But that'll be a test of my managerial mettle, I'm sure. Back in Italy, I do want to do a Director of Football challenge, so I might Director of Football it to an extent with the Reviving Ravel videos I've got going, but I'm doing hopefully a series called The Interference. So the Director of Football at Inter Milan, I want it to run for 2 or 3 seasons, see what we can do with the team. Just run completely Director of Football and see how we get on. I've only done it once before on like FM18 with Huddersfield, and it was horrific, so it really put me off. But it seems to be quite popular at the minute, so I thought I'd give it a go. But obviously, as we are supplementing a few shorter series, there is hopefully going to be one. I don't really know the background of it at the moment, but I am going to do one during December where it's probably just going to be either one long video per club, or very short videos every day, which will cover a season, maybe over a week we'll cover a season. But I want it to be like a Christmas series basically. I've done the thumbnail, I did them all ages ago because I got really excited when I was making 5 videos a week. But yeah, that's up here somewhere. It's called Polar Express, so really ambitious. I basically went through the Scandinavian countries, tried to make up the letters using the first letters of the names of the clubs I'll be using. I can't remember who they are off the top of my head. They'll appear somewhere there. One of them I remember as a stretch. I can't remember who it is, but we'll make it work. But anyway, I'm hoping to do that. Honestly, that might be it for YouTube for the year. So 3 series. It'll end up being good 14, 15 seasons. So that's probably about right. In addition to that, So this is the thing that might slow down the YouTube, which is why it might only be 2 or 3 videos a week, is I wanted to do a bit of a Youth Academy challenge. I've seen it a bit this year, and with training being updated the way it is, it might have quite a big impact. So what I want to do is take my most local club at the moment, which is Southend Manor, who actually played quite a few times as a youngster. Used to play for Hawkwell Athletic, if that's news to anyone. So yeah, we played them. But yeah, Southend Manor, local club to me, and they're in the Essex Senior League, so it's like Tier 8, I think. So I just want to see what I can do with them. Youth Academy only. I'm going to try and write about that, but we'll see how it goes. I've got, as you've heard already, I've got a lot of ideas based on YouTube, based on maybe WordPress, and then I might even stream a little bit as well, some of the more important games. So it's just whatever I get time for, whatever I'm enjoying the most. I don't want to fully commit to say this will be out on this day. I'm going to be doing 3 videos a week. We'll see what happens. I think that's the best idea. So some of the reasons that I'm actually doing shorter series this time around is obviously if you've been around the channel at all, or you have a look at the videos I've got on FM18, my longest one by an absolute stretch was FC Os. I think that reached 80 episodes in the end, 10 seasons, although one video was actually 10 years into the future, so I don't know if that really counts, and one was sort of just a recap in general. And then obviously I've got the Newcastle one, which technically is still ongoing as I speak, because the last one came out on Friday, so it was only 3 days ago. This is recording on a Monday, by the way, so that doesn't help you at all. And I had How to Pirate FM18, which was amazing, picked up some traction early on because it picked up by like Golden FM, the Northman tweeted it out, stuff like that. So that was really nice, but with How to Pirate FM18, it wasn't really sustainable, seeing as we're in Haiti, which I learned to say eventually as well. I kind of enjoyed it, but the seasons were long to like basically come down to one game because we were dominating as well as Don Bosco. So it was a really long time to go through a season with Os on the go as well. And to be honest, I know it's early days, I'm doing it for the enjoyment, but I wasn't really enjoying playing. I love the idea of it because I was trying to make it piratey. I played pirate music during it, but I just didn't quite connect with it on YouTube. Offline it would have been great, but maybe that's something for the future I can bring back. But obviously that just died a death and I didn't say anything on it, so this is the official, it died, I'm afraid. And that was a short series, and Being Sir Bob I loved, but that started coming, it was meant to replace Os, and it sort of did. Os ran a little longer than I thought it was going to, and Newcastle, Being Sir Bob, I like it, but I've really started playing more of it as FM19 is approaching. The hype is like massive. Well, I say here massive. I think people are really hyped for FM19, and I'm feeling very much the same. I'm looking forward to it. I'm enjoying a break from recording so much because the last few weeks I managed to smash out some Ultimate Soccer Manager 2, which is also, I think, just ending. I think I just need a little break on the channel. We'll see what happens with USM2 because it's quite pain-free to record. I just sit down for 20 minutes and that's a season done. So that's quite nice. So I might carry on with that for a little bit. There's a bit of filler on the channel. I can't just let it go dead for the next couple. Well, it's only 2 weeks now already till the beta probably, so maybe I can. But yeah, Being Sir Bob is ended as well. We didn't really do as well as I thought we would, so technically I failed my little challenge, so we'll call it quits there, I guess. But all that together, really, so with the one really long series with Os, which I loved to death. I wish I could have done it a bit longer, and really if I didn't mess around with other videos, so Tortuga Pirates or Newcastle, I probably could have done a couple more seasons and got to where I wanted to, because I really thought we had a Champions League in us. But I'm not going to play that offline or anything because I kind of just, when it's done, and I went 10 years into the future. I've got saves from earlier, but I don't really want to just go back knowing what I know. So I really enjoyed it, but it leads me to believe I only feel like I've got one actual long-term save in me, and you see it with the big YouTubers as well. People like, Loki Doki and Dr. Benji, for example, stick to one big save and then might do some little things. Lalujo, this year he did 2 big saves. I think he said that Backing the Borough got nowhere near as much traction. I don't mind so much about traction. It'd be nice if someone watched the videos. Obviously, that's why I'm doing it. I'm doing it for enjoyment as well, but you don't want to like dilute your channel too much. So I think one long series, if I'm going to do a long one, I do it in one go, or I do it during the sort of beta phase up to Christmas, then do my little Christmas one, then just carry on with the other one, carry on where I left off. Then once that's done, there's like a couple of 2-season type series to go through. I think that's the best thing that I can do. It's sort of what I've learned from what I've done in FM18. Tortuga and Newcastle lasted for 2 seasons, so I think that's about right, to be honest. But speaking of Football Manager 2019, there's been obviously some feature reveals recently. New gen faces look a little better, apparently, so we'll see about that. But I've gone on planetfootball.com for a quick summary. Obviously, I was there on the day. Everything's been tweeted out. Everyone was talking about it on Twitter in the FM community, so I've seen it all already. But to give some quick points as to my thoughts, nothing bad, really. So the training overhaul is intriguing. I don't know what image I'm going to pull up, but the one I'm currently looking at the moment is the one with session 1, 2, and then sort of the extra session. I know there's a calendar version of it as well, so hopefully that's appearing. Everything's appearing on the screen here somewhere. As someone who hasn't touched training for a number of years, maybe since like FM12, ever since I just left the assistant, it is exciting to change. I'm going to be completely honest, I feel a bit overwhelmed by the change, but I think that's just because I haven't touched training for so many years. The FM community and players elsewhere who aren't in just the community in general, not just content creators, have been crying out for better training. So this is what we've been asking for, so I'm looking forward to it. But I guess at the start I might just ask the assistant and try and pick up what they do and then just adjust it. I think that's the best way to do it. And I assume what you can do with the training will also kind of work into your tactics. So now I'm looking at the one I've got here is terrible. It's the one which shows the attacking and defensive line, which is still good. I'm hoping you can sort of click it and move it up and down. That'd be pretty cool, but I'm not sure that's the case. But obviously now there's some presets you can choose from like Tiki Taka, Go Route 1, all that kind of stuff that will put in the team instructions and suggested player roles, things like that. Formation and I think team instructions possibly in possession, in transition and out of possession. Just all sorts of things like that, which is pretty cool. I think that's a vast improvement. I think it's made it a bit more complex, not much more. It's just giving you a bit more to think about whilst also giving newer players a chance to get into the game. Obviously they brought in the manager induction, so they've made it more complicated in a way, I think, personally. But because of the manager induction, it'll be like everyone's learning at the same time, which I think is pretty cool. So I think it's all positive changes. I'm excited to use the tactics. I don't think I'll be using any presets, just historically I like to muddle my way through anyway. I might do the same with training, but like I said, I'll probably just use the assistant at first, then just amend what they're doing and see what works for me. Other things on the list are just the standard VAR and goal line technology. I've kind of been surprised by a lot of people's reactions on Twitter in general, and I guess podcasts. There's a couple of podcasts that mention VAR and stuff like that, and they said that no one knew that the game could make mistakes. Because when Miles tweeted out that it can recently, everyone seemed to be surprised, but like I'm not really surprised by that. Like football has mistakes in it, and I feel like there's mistakes that happen in Football Manager. I know sometimes if a decision isn't made in match, you get a press conference, they say, what did you think of the lack of a decision? And at least on older versions you could berate the ref and you'd get a touchline ban, or it would say like the authorities remain silent. Like mistakes can be made and have always been made in football games, maybe not FIFA so much anymore. I don't know what they're doing with that these days, but I swear there's a period even they said that the linesman, for example, could make a slight mistake. So I think it's positive. In terms of VAR and goal line technology, VAR just means you're going to get the decision that you're going to get anyway, just they've added some tension to it. But like 5-star Pod have said, it might get a bit tedious if like you just have to watch the ref run over constantly to check the TV. Hopefully it's not regular, but I guess we'll see. And goal line technology, hopefully it's similar to FIFA where they just show it when it's close, so you can go, oh that was close, or oh that wasn't close, basically. But that is kind of it in terms of a channel update. I know I've babbled a lot more than I thought I would. This has already been recording 20 minutes. I know there's a bit of stuff to cut, but yeah, if you have enjoyed that, let me know and you're subscribing. That'd be good. Looking forward to FM19 content. Looking forward to seeing Lazio and Ravel Morrison in all their glory. I'm certainly looking forward to it. Oh, it's going to be horrible. But yeah, any questions, any comments, please do let me know. I'm pumped for FM19. Like I said before, I'm a bit worried about the changes just because historically I've not touched training for, well, I haven't touched training for so many years, but everyone's got to get used to it at the same time. I'm sure it'll be fine, right? But anyway, thank you very much for watching. Oh, and yeah, my hair's short now. Whatever you just said there, Ed, cut it.